Hey guys, today we're gonna be doing an Arc 3.0 video, basically tell you how to prepare for the next season, tell you what weapons to get, or at least the best ones, and also the best armor that you should be using and how they work, as well as the exotic weapons too. And then I'm gonna be telling you speculation on what Arc 3.0 will be like and what you can look forward to next season when it comes to Arc 3.0. That's the entire idea of it. I'm gonna tell you where I'm gonna start off in the video, and let's get on with the Arc Exotic weapons. So when it comes to Arc Exotic weapons, I'm only gonna be talking about the ones you really want. I'm gonna have an honorable mentions part, but I'm going to have a part where it's like telling you the best ones, the one you'll want, and like I'll explain them. And then the honorable mentions will be ones that you would probably want, but might be specific roles, or they just might be good with a new update. It depends on how they implement things in, but that's the full extent of it. So let's get on to the exotic weapon. So the first exotic weapon I'm going to start off with is Trinity Ghoul, which I'm going to explain later. And then we got Divinity, which has overload rounds. Wrist Runner, which does like the chain reaction thingy if you take arc damage. Trespasser, which if you get kill and reload, it unloads a lot of damage. And Legend of Acreus is basically a high damage power shotgun. Anarchy is a high damage grenade launcher that does constant damage. Thunderlord is a machine gun that causes lightning to hit. Okay, so time to explain these exotic weapons because they are important to how they can be used in the future. So let's start off with Trinity Ghoul. Its perk is if you get a kill, if you have the catalyst. Without the catalyst, you have to get precision kill. You get a buff called Lightning Rod, and next shot you hit with Trinity Ghoul, say you shoot at the ground, it's going to connect a chain reaction to the enemies, hitting around 9,000 damage in all. But it's a 3-bolt weapon, so it's gonna be split on into 3 bullets. And the way that Trinity Ghoul will be good, it will be amazing for ad clear, and if there's of course a debuff or some sort of thing like volatile rounds, it will be very useful for ad clear. And if there's a bow mod next season, it'll also be very good for nightfalls. Now on to Divinity. I mean, this is mostly self-explanatory. Divinity should have even stronger buffs to the next boss that you're trying to attack with Div, because that's usually what it's used for, boss damage. And it also has an overload proc, so it can be very useful in Nightfalls. Anyway, it's useful right now, especially if you've been doing Corrupted recently. But that's all I have to say for Div. Wrist Runner is notoriously used for Prophecy solo runs, me included. But it can be very useful in Nightfalls as well, like Grandmasters, if you are using, say, a arc. Okay, let me re-explain this. Okay, if you're using Wrist Runner in an arc damage environment, it can be extremely useful if you have a corresponding mod for it on the Nightfall. Say you have overload submachine guns, as we do right now, and you go into a Nightfall that does arc damage. Then Wrist Runner will be very good to stun overloads and also take down ads at the same time, as long as they're continually getting damaged by arc enemies. Okay, now let's go on to Trespasser. Trespasser can be very good for damage against ads, but it's not really boss damage. It's more just kill a bunch of ads in one shot, or kill multiple in one shot, and you can renew the buff if you want to. It's pretty good. It'll be used probably in things like lower level events, unless there's a sidearm mod. In the event where that may be good, I recommend using it. Now when we get to Legend of Acreus, it will probably only be useful for boss damage and nothing more, so you need to know about it. It's majorly the same with Anarchy, and Thunderlord might be good for both ad clear and damage. Okay, now let's get on to the honorable mention. Okay, those are pretty cool weapons. I hope you try them out. Now let's get on to Arc Exotic armor pieces, which is insurmountable scroll forward, of course, punchy get healy, so it should be good. Eternal Warrior probably will be redone next season, if not, it will be trash. Curse of the Falling Star, amazing, pick it up if you ever have the chance to. Dune Marchers, it's pretty good, I would recommend using it in PvP. Blight Ranger, it could be good, but it's usually seen as worse, and it probably will stay that way. Liar's Handshake will probably be redone with the arc melee. Freedom Flux could be good for boss damage, but it's long time, so maybe not. Lucky Raspberry could be good for chain, that might be a mod for next season like Voltaron's. Raiju's Harness will probably be changed because Whirlwind Guard is being added to arc normally. Crown of Tempest will be extremely overpowered for Warlocks because you regen. Getaway Artist will maybe be good, it depends, kind of like how Child of Old Gods works. Storm Dancer's Brace will probably be kind of like that super thing, not too good. Geomite Stabilizers will probably be the same thing, it'll stay the same unless Chaos Species OP. Now that's the extent of what I wanted to say for Arc Exotic armor pieces, but of course I didn't say all of them. There are some armor pieces that are not Arch that will probably benefit the Arch subclass. And there's many things that, like say, armamentariums, you get another grenade, so that would be pretty nice. And it wouldn't be connected to arc, but of course there's other things that can correspond to arc and make it better without having it to be arc. I'm just going to tell you the arc ones and how they will be next season, how good they are right now, because that's the information we've got. But let's get on to the more confusing part, which is armor mods. I'm going to explain this very quickly, speed on time. Arc Siphon will be good because you get arc kills and then you get orbs. Pretty damn cool, don't you think? Any Warmind mod will be good because Arctulos is arch, so you could use that. Reactive Pulse because charged with light, arc energy, boom. A Well of Ions because more Artwells can do more melees and chain. Well striking, same thing there, literally the same thing. Seeking Wells, please give me Seeking Wells 801, and also it's super. Okay, now that you see those mods, if you have any questions, by the way, just put it in the comments and stuff. This video kind of took me a while to make, mostly because it's hard to make Arch look good right now, but it will be good next season. So let's get on to the worst part, or the pain in my ass part, which is speculation or Arc 3.0. Lightning grenades, really damn good for Titan. They're my favorite grenade. They'll probably be pretty OP next season with a chain attack probably. Flashburn grenades, literally the same as suppressing grenades except it disorients, so it's kind of worse. They'll probably add a suppressing effect next season. Seismic Strike will probably be added in the melee slot, and it'll probably do the same exact thing because it's not too overpowered and it's not too changeable. Aftershocks and damaging enemies with Seismic Strike recharges your grenade will probably stay the same, but as a aspect. Wait, no, it's fragment. Okay, now terminal velocity leaves a damage dealing. It'll also probably be a fragment. Now, magnitude will most definitely either be taken out of Arc 3.0 altogether, or will be added in as an aspect. Ballistic Slam will probably be added in the melee slot, not changing too much. That's all I have to say about those, sorry. Inertia Override, probably going to be added and modified as a fragment. It's not very good, and it's also pretty nice though, so a fragment is its level. Impact Conversion, Ballistic Slam gets super energy and activates Inertia Override. It will probably stay as a fragment as well. Thunder Crash will stay as a super, probably buffing its damage or adding a debuff to the enemy it hits. Probably added on with Curse. Melee kills immediately trigger health regeneration. It will probably be given that with maybe something added like Allies did it too as a fragment. Trample, destroying enemies with Fists of Havoc and extends its duration. Will probably be taken out completely, but it could be added in as a fragment as well. Knockout, critically ruin an enemy or breaking their shields, increases your melee range and damage. Will probably be, of course, another fragment, but probably changed a little. Frontal shot will probably be added in the melee slot, or it might be taken out completely because it's more just like a melee, but it could definitely be still in there. Now, to kind of give you a little idea of how good this is going to be, Titan will probably be the second best, in my opinion. But Thunder Crash will be amazing for boss damage. In Nightfalls, no stand on the Hunter. Disorienting Blow is a melee, so it probably will just add the disorienting effect as a fragment and the normal melee. Combat Mediation, melee grenades recharge dramatically faster, will probably be added something similar, but maybe like picking up an orb instead. Lightning Reflexes, you're harder to kill while dodging. That'll probably be added in as a fragment and not an aspect, but it's weird. Force Breathing, sprinting recharges your dodge ability, increases maximum sprint speed, will probably be incorporated on the speed aspect. Whirlwind Guard will probably be, of course, added in on all the supers, so we'll either add a brand new super to a Hunter or keep the one with the Whirlwind Guard. Lightning Weave, melee hits increased weapon reload speed. Basically, it'll probably be a fragment, but probably not. Ebb and Flow, hit a target with arc ability to electrify them, melee or electrified enemies, disorient them. This will probably be a buff, like a Light Voltov Flow. Tempest Strike will probably be added as more of like that slam attack they did with Solar and like throwing down the two hammers, similar with that. Deadly Reach Touching increases your melee range, allowing you to lunge further to strike enemies. Probably the same as a fragment, not much different. Lethal Current, after dodging each Arc Staff, creates a damaging lightning aftershock, will probably be added in an aspect for all supers or a fragment. Combat Flow, melee tails recharge your dodge ability, will probably be added in as a fragment, but it could be, if it fully recharges it, be added as an aspect. Combination Flow will probably be added as, it probably will be added as a aspect, kind of like Mark. Skip Grenade is very interesting, but it will probably be just added in the grenade section, kind of just like that Solar Grenade. Flux Grenade is probably just going to be similar to, that Solar Grenade, the one that explodes and Warlocks use. Now, it'll be like that one, but okay, now that's pretty cool. I think Warlock's going to be the best, though. Based off of just the speed aspect, and one of the buffs that will probably be less inclusive, but if it stays inclusive on Warlock, then definitely Warlock's going to be your speed main. But I'm going to explain that in further detail right now. Let's get to the Warlocks. Now, Rising Storm and its melee ability that recharges super grenade and melee energy will probably be added as same as that. Really, it probably won't be changed very much. Electrostatic Surge, your Rift Slot Thunder charges faster and you run faster when allies are near. That will probably be a buff that's added to all characters and as a fragment or aspect, which is super nice. Art Soul, definitely added as an aspect, just like Child of the Old Gods. Probably a little bit of buffs here and there, maybe a debuff, but that's more void, so it might be just more damage added to the Art Soul. Landfall will probably be added as like a fragment, like say, your super causes people to ignite when shooting them with golden guns. Same as this, except you just throw down lightning under you. Chaos Reach will probably be added with a bit more buff damage, kind of like Blade Barrage, and that's most of the extent of it. It'll stay. Ionic Trace, if any enemies have a chance to create Ionic Traces, and it grants energy to all your abilities. Probably either an aspect or a fragment, depending on how much energy it gives you. Pulse Wave, being critically wounded, triggers an energy wave that boosts your allies' speed, and that will probably be added as a fragment or completely taken out because it's a little too broad. Ball Lightning, fire an arc projectile that travels forward and release a perpendicular bolt of lightning. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. It'll be added in the melee section, just like all the rest. Arc Web. Now, enemies damaged by your grenade chain deadly lightning nearby enemies, which would also return grenade energy, probably added with a mod for the season. Ionic Blink, attack to teleport during Storm Trace. Now, this is probably just going to be added, just into Storm Trace normally. It will be just integrated in. Transcendence, when cast with full grenade and melee energy, storm straight and slash slaughter and fully restores health. That will probably be a fragment. Now when it comes to Chain Lightning, Electric to melee ability, chains lightning from start target to nearby enemies. Probably gonna be just like the mod that I think is gonna be Lightning Bolt Flow with chain. Arc Bolt Grenade, it's gonna chain bolts of lightning and nearby enemies. It's gonna be pretty OP because it's a one tap and even better in Crucible. Storm Grenade, I love this grenade and I really hope it gets a buff. Maybe like a chain reacts to the enemies it hits, but that'll probably be the extent of the video. Well, that's all I got, and thank you for watching, and subscribe.